Hello, this is Eliot Browarsky talking to you about the internship that I did this summer, 2013, with American Fence and Supply. American Fence and Supply is a fence and installation company based out of Toledo, Ohio. They work with residential, commercial properties, anyone really who's looking to put up fences around the area in Northwest Ohio. We've been as far as Cleveland, Cincinnati, and up into greater parts of Detroit, based out of Northwest Ohio in Toledo. The company was founded in 1986 by a small entrepreneur by the name of Edward Rocco, and has grown into being one of the top fencing companies in Northwest Ohio since then. I got connected with this internship through some family friends of mine who are very close with Eddie, Edward Rocco, the CEO, and I worked really closely. He is the main sales representative, but I worked really closely with Stephen Huffman, who runs the show from the office in Toledo. So, going into the internship, I had two top learning objectives. One, I wanted to learn better communication with customers and potential clients, because I think that sales was something that I was really interested in and still am very interested in after the internship. My second learning objective that topped my list was to learn to propose and compose contracts with prospective vendors and things for closing deals. The most interesting project that I worked on was with Orchard Villa Nursing Home, and it was the most interesting because the original contract that I had proposed didn't meet the state regulations with nursing homes, or there was some technicalities that weren't correct. So I actually had to hand that project off to Stevelyn to help her with the contract. But it was interesting to me that there were so many loopholes or guidelines, I guess, for different types of organizations like a nursing home and things like that. Some experiences that took me out of my comfort zone was definitely the worst for me was calling people that AFS or American Fence and Supply had previously been, they had given them an estimate before. So anywhere from the BPs, Sunoco's, to families in residential neighborhoods, those people that really most of them weren't interested in getting the fence back up or getting another estimate, things like that. And it was uncomfortable because I had some people cuss me out, and it no one was really interested. Cold calling almost. It took me out of my comfort zone. I was a little uncomfortable, especially in the beginning with that. Another experience that took me out of my comfort zone was when one of the sales representatives by the name of Leonard, he got in some legal trouble during the time in my internship, and the Toledo police actually came to the office looking for him with a warrant out for his arrest. And it was uncomfortable for me because I looked up to him, I thought very highly of him, and then to see that happen, I'd been to lunch with him a lot of times and developed a good relationship, so that was very uncomfortable for me. And then seeing what happened with him and Edward after that, with him getting fired, that took me out of my comfort zone for sure. Um, some differences and commonalities in my work group. There was mostly women that I worked with, which, although it taught me a lot of being patient and how to work with people the best and communicate with CRM and customer relationship management, it also showed me with Edward and Leonard Leonard's relationship. It proved that really business comes first, and that although Edward and Leonard had become close, what the legal trouble that Leonard had come through really overshadowed all the great work that had been done from his part, and it looked bad on the company, so Edward had to let him go. Um, what I learned about myself, one is that I can pretty much get along with everyone and anyone, and I'm a diligent worker. I really work well with deadlines. But what I really learned about the industry is that it's very, very competitive. There's vendors like Master Halco, Sharon Fence, particularly, that are very tight with pricing. And I did a lot of contacting with vendors, but also that even after being in business for 24 years, or over 24 years now, AFS is still not, the top company in Toledo with fencing companies. There's multiple companies. There's about five that are really competitive and at the top of the food chain with fencing companies. So even after all that time, it's very competitive in the industry. Am I interested in pursuing a career with AFS? No. It was too dry of material, to be honest with you. The fencing industry isn't very exciting, in my opinion. I think sales, yes, I think I could work very well with people. I think interpersonal communication is a strength of mine, but possibly maybe the financial aspect of things. With fencing, I was kind of curious with how the grants for projects went through with the financing and things like that. Um, and it was definitely not involved in my internship, but it's something that I've communicated that with Edward, and I'm looking forward to talking with him over winter break. What courses helped prepare me for this? I would say definitely the busy work courses and the courses that I had group projects with. Courses like statistics, MIS, where a lot of busy work and deadlines and things like that helped me take responsibility for getting things done on time. And group projects with classes like marketing and management, those classes help you interact with people and learn how to deal with people and work best together. And I certainly had that in the office at AFS with everyone. What I wish I would have done differently, I definitely wish I would have researched the industry more of fencing and really gone in and shadowed a couple days in the winter or the spring to make sure that it was something I wanted to do. It was something that my mom and dad really wanted me to try. And I have no regrets doing it whatsoever, but I also wish that I would have done it for 2 credit hours because although it was dry, I feel like I was still learning a lot of stuff and I could totally have learned more and gotten more out of the experience. But other than that, I had a great experience and I don't regret it for anything. I enjoyed my time at AFS and I hope this helped give you a better overview of my experience. Thank you.